are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leck.
And together we are
Road Break.
Welcome to another live show to talk about Smackdown Live. A show that completely killed us today. It was hard to watch. It was a painful 2 hours to get us to maybe 5 minutes of a good main event scene, something that we're getting excited. You see a lot of changes into this main event. Daniel Bryan, Edge, Jey Uso, Uso. We got to see Uso, and Roman Reigns, of course, the head of the table, the big dog. So Paul, really hard to watch these 2 hours, right?
Yeah, and we just said about NXT. It's like, oh, maybe this is the worst show WWE puts on. Even worse than Raw, worse than SmackDown. SmackDown was like, no. We are still the king of the bad shows here. Don't try to take our crown, NXT, because they gave us an awful show. You said it perfectly. Everything in the main event scene of SmackDown's good. Everything else, no, it's just awful. I really don't know what they're doing.
It's hard to watch. So a lot of so many good things that they could do a little to make the show better. No, they choose to go the other way. They choose to just make us suffer. Go through really painful 1 hour and 55 minutes. Just to give me 5 minutes of maybe something okay, but then coming up at news at 10. So I rather sometimes if I rather watch the news than SmackDown, there's something wrong with me or something wrong with the writers. So family, thank you so very much for being with us. Subscriptions, comments, don't forget our latest video that we have right there, NXT UK review, talking about finally some payback for Piper Niven and also Jack Stars, the first mixed tag match in NXT UK history, Paul.
Yeah, we had said, there was a kind of a slow week for NXT UK. I guess it would be a nice way to say it. Not very exciting show. The intergender tag match was okay. Wasn't anything too exciting. Probably not worthy of a main event. And then we also saw the opening match of Dave Mastiff going against Tyler Bate. Heritage Cup rules. Good match. Probably wouldn't have had Tyler Bate win if I was, booking it, but go check out our review here, all of our in-depth thoughts and coverage of the episode of NXT UK.
Exactly. So family, thank you so very much for the people that are watching. Welcome. We're the original Road Break. We cover every single thing about professional wrestling. Please comment on the section. We want to hear your thoughts about SmackDown. Is it getting better for some of you? Is it getting worse? This is our phase when the show ended and how it started also. We're pissed. Big dog, of course, Tribal Chief right there. That's how we get a recap, of course, of next week's show, because Daniel Bryan is the one that is going to be challenging Roman Reigns at Fastlane. So that's what we got. And then actually in different fashion, at least Edge opened the show, Paul, and not actually Roman. So that was a little different at least. And it's revealed to us that the winner of the main event at Fastlane is going to challenge Edge, or Edge is going to be challenging whoever becomes the Universal Champion. And we get to see the Rated R superstar just telling us that whoa. I have a lot of passion also. I have a lot of love. And, you're not the only one, Daniel Bryan, that has been here week in and week out. It's remember when I was here, I built the show. I fought The Undertaker, Terry Funk. I fought Batista. I fought Eddie Guerrero. All of them, day by day, day in, day out. So Bryan, I just came back because I love this. So you see a lot of intensity in Edge, and pretty much actually not even acknowledging Roman that much. At the beginning, he was, and he actually acknowledged something that you and me say about all the time. Roman is I want you, and then I don't want you. So he goes back and forth. At least that it makes sense in the main event. Like you said, they put all the big guns in the main event.
Yeah, this was a great promo by Edge. We said since the acting classes, everything, Edge is just such a good promo, and I love this. He said, to Daniel Bryan, he's like, oh, you say you deserve it more than me just because you love wrestling, you love this business. He's like, what about me? When you were wrestling maybe one night a week, I was wrestling 5, 6, 7 nights a week, and like you said, against guys like The Undertaker, all this stuff. So great promo by Edge. And then at this point, you're thinking, okay, well, it's the opening segment to SmackDown. Roman Reigns has got to come out, right? It's not going to be Daniel Bryan. We're not going to just see a legit opening segment with two, I guess you would say baby faces. It's kind of, I would say they're baby faces. They're just, competitive with each other, rivals, you could almost say. But no, it wasn't the big dog. We actually got an opening segment on SmackDown without the head of the table, thank God. So Daniel Bryan comes out, and, this was a great interaction, a great promo. And every time I see these two guys, I almost want Bryan to beat Roman. I almost want Roman to not even be a factor at WrestleMania. Event. But like I said, unless The Rock is guaranteed to challenge Roman at Mania, they're going to keep the title on Roman.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. So like when Daniel Bryan says the same in the same fashion as Edge, he says, "Well, I respect everything you did. I'm not acknowledging you, but it's like I won Fastlane. It's one of my last opportunities to main event WrestleMania. I want to be, in the main event. I want to be the Universal Champion. I want to face you." So you see the same intensity coming from both, and then Edge finishes just by saying, I respect you and everything, but you're not better than me. You're a great fighter, but I fight better. You're kind of like in Rocky fashion, you fight great, but I'm a better fighter. So like you see Edge is like, completely convinced that he's going to be Daniel Bryan, but you see a little bit of like, okay, we're not friends anymore. The respect might be there, but in the end, if I have to do something against you, I will. I will not hesitate. So that was good. I like the beginning of SmackDown. At least, it was very promising. But of course, like you mentioned, John Paul, in WWE fashion, always can get worse. It always can get worse.
No, it was like this, and then immediately.
Oh yeah, you know how it went like that. Boom, we get to see the Street Profits and the Mysterios in 8-man tag. Of course, this is how they love to destroy the shows. Thank you WWE and the writing team. This is against all the 8 heels, it was Otis and Chad Gable, or going against also Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. We finally get to see the tag team champions, and Bobby Roode wearing most like badass Billy Gunn outfit. With the pink trunks and all of that. So pretty, different. But of course, this match was really quick, nothing really of importance. I mean, good interactions by the Mysterios. Like you said, if they will immerse the Mysterios in the feud and they will make them win, this will be so much better. Because the Street Profits and Roode and Ziggler, for me, unfortunately, Roode and Ziggler will never be considered legit, never be considered main event players, or not even champions, because they don't treat them as such. There's never, the respect that you need for your champions.
Yeah, they're clearly just transitional champs, or they're giving the belt hey guys, thanks for everything you do. Thanks for constantly putting guys over. You're never going to be singles champs legit. So here's the tag belts. And, the worst part about this match is the Mysterios look good. Like I said, Otis looked good, kind of just, being in this more aggressive role, just like a dumb heel role, I guess you could say, because he's clearly the puppet. Chad Gable's pulling all the strings. But the whole thing was set up just for the Street Profits to get just to pin the tag champs. Yes. That was this whole match. So there's 4 guys involved in this 8-man tag match that mean absolutely nothing. And that's what's bullshit. You're using those 8 guys to get the team over, to get them back in a title contention that nobody really wants to see be in title contention. Why isn't it the Mysterios? Why isn't it we're going to see the great story of father and son winning, earning their title shot and hopefully winning the belts at WrestleMania? Nah, we'll just give it back to the Street Profits, who nobody really cares for.
And you know what? In WWE fashion also, we might be seeing this, again, and maybe they want to do a multi-man tag. This will be for the titles. This or the
I could easily see a fatal 4-way tag match. Oh yeah, definitely.
So we got to see good performance. At least Bobby Roode, he hit spine buster. He was trying to go for the glorious DDT. I like the double 619 by Ray and also Dominic. So you see a little bit of good wrestling right there. But in the end, of course, the big splash from Montez 4. We get to see that huge 1, 2, 3. They get the win. So the Street Profits, the Mysterios get the upper hand. The tag champs, and wouldn't it be better if Gable or Otis get the pin rather than your champions?
Well, that's like I said, because as soon as it was 1, 2, 3, Michael Cole, oh my God, they pinned the champs. They might earn another title shot. Oh, the big thing coming out of this match is he pinned Bobby Roode. He pinned half of the tag. It's okay, we get it. You want to put the titles back on them immediately? Just do it. Why did you even take them off if you wanted to be back on them so fast? It's
exactly. So I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Nothing doesn't make sense. I mean, do it, but at least again, showcase your champions in the right way, because they look as bad as Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Having gold in WWE is actually curse. It's not actually something good. Mm-hmm. It's not something that they're gonna treat me with respect. No, we're gonna you're gonna get the pin all the time. Otis and Gable are gonna be more, gonna look better than you guys. There's even reports that Andrade, kind of wanted his request, denied. Same thing with Chad Gable. He said, once my contract is over, hey, I can be a new member of the Horsemen over there, AEW. Want to see how that came about? See one Jean Paul AEW review. We have it right there in the channel. So first inductee in the Hall of Fame. They're gonna have virtual ceremony. This is for me so over. It needed to happen because Molly Holly is absolutely amazing, well deserved. Molly Holly, I remember the days of 1999 with Crash and Hardcore Holly. Probably nobody remembers those days, but like she deserves it more than anybody, in the women's division from back then. So well deserved. And Gregory Helms was right there, good friends with her. Everybody's praising her. She was one of the stepping stones and, very unrecognized. A lot of people, Mickey James, Lita, Trish, they always say those three names. What about Molly Holly? Like she even won like with the Hurricane, Super Molly or whatever, or Almighty Molly, I think.
Oh yeah. This is like you said, the way overdue. She should have been in how long ago already? But it's great, that she is getting in. She's the first inductee, and it means a lot, to the women, because to have March be, like the Women's Month and stuff. So like for her to be the first inductee, this is great for her. And I'm, glad that it's not just like, oh yeah, Molly Holly's inducted. And some people are like, oh, okay. Like the Orange Cassidy, like thumbs up. No, everybody is giving their outpour of like respect and like, oh, this is so great for her. So I'm glad for her to see that her peers also respect her as well as the fans.
Good stuff, good for Molly Holly. We at least will be doing coverage, maybe not in the video.
And she's still, every time she was in the Royal Rumble and wrestling and stuff, she looked legit yet.
Yeah. Yeah, so. she always looked good, and at least she didn't have stupid like performances. So good for Molly Holly. Talking about stupid outfits, a lot of people like at least me, like did you come out with like your pajamas? Like
I thought it was Christmas time again.
The only I give him a pass. His father-in-law, quote unquote, like he just passed away yesterday, Becky Lynch's father. So I'll give him the pass. It's like you had a really rough night, you couldn't grab anything decent, so you had to grab whatever it was right there handy. So that's fine. I'll give you that pass. But it's like, Kayla goes, let's watch again what happened with Cesaro. Like, and that made sense to me. Why do we have to do the same thing all over again? So you see that Rollins is pissed off, and like he's gonna just be like looking at this match with Cesaro that he's gonna have in a little bit next. So like you get to see a promo by this guy, that like doesn't know how to really get dressed, but it's fine. It was all good. But we gotta go for like somebody that doesn't know how to, with somebody that has a girlfriend that can help him out to do that. And that's Reginald and Nia Jax.
Well, I'm sure as much as she was helping him get dressed in this, I'm sure she'd rather get him undressed. But
this is the phase when he gets undressed. Yeah. Yep, exactly. So that's how it's gonna be. And that's what like pretty much like she took him like to like get like clothes shopping. Just that's
new suits and everything, just hyping him up. Just this segment went way too long. It was such shit, and we all felt like Shayna Baszler, just like when is this gonna end? This is bullshit. And I mean, it's like nobody cares. This is all just to cause dissension in the women's division over the tag titles, over the SmackDown main title feud. But nobody really cares. That's the problem. Nobody cares, and they're not trying to fix it. They just keep digging that hole deeper and deeper.
By doing that, they just make the title feud between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair most unimportant.
Yeah.
More and more unimportant. More irrelevant. They're causing the wrong effect. Just because every single week as this,
and they want it to feel as irrelevant as the Raw title, because SmackDown title is actually on TV, and they were actually giving Sasha legit feuds, and then they're like, oh wait, Asuka she's been missing forever. She hasn't had a good feud in literally forever. Okay, we got to do the same thing with Sasha. We got to ruin her feud.
Yeah, so let's ruin both of our champions. So that's not good. Somebody that you mentioned, you said the word ruin, right? Can we really say that this guy was also being ruined? Yes, Buddy Murphy. He even said, my stint on NXT done, nobody really care about me. And now the same thing's going on with like this. He got a match with Cesaro, and the match didn't even take place. They started out like 2 minutes because this guy, he's right there. Again, fashion police crime right there. Joan Rivers, wherever you are, he's just probably like, rolling around in her, wherever she's at, and in her grave. But like, this was bad. And, the match didn't even pick up, like I said.
No, I mean, legit spot from Cesaro, that suplexing him into the ring and everything. And as soon as Cesaro, like you said, just really dominant, Buddy Murphy looked kind of just like a jobber here, setting him up. And then Rollins came in, hit the stomp, and then obviously DQ. Cesaro, I love he sold the stomp really well, grabbing his ear and everything. And, Rollins is like, get up. Right? Yeah, and he's like, oh, it's not so easy to stand when your ears all ringing and everything. So you heard the interaction, the double stomp or the second stomp. He sold that one. So this is good because I'm thinking, oh, one stomp, maybe Cesaro counters next week, and then maybe it'll be like, oh, give me a match at Fastlane. I don't want to see that. We want to see it at Mania. Give these two guys the spotlight they deserve at WrestleMania. So hopefully the double stomps, or the two stomps to the head, he sold it. Maybe
he was about to do the third one, as you can see,
yeah.
on the chair. But then everybody and Jamie Noble come out.
Yeah, so hopefully that this means, they sell like an injury for 2-3 weeks or so, and then we get this at WrestleMania. That's really what I'm hoping for.
And and I think we will get that because maybe at Fastlane, this is what we're going to get. Because it's like, oh, you think that you can have long hair? Well, I can have it too. Like who's the cutest out of the two? Well, I don't know. I'm not going to mention because, for me, Shinsuke doesn't accelerate, kind of like any like handsome or anything. But you see, you Jesus against, somebody that wants to imitate. But anyway. So like they have a big stare down right there, and we're gonna see, like I said, maybe Fastlane, don't you think? And then that will set it up because like for WrestleMania with Cesaro because selling the two stuff.
I mean that would be a great match at Fastlane. The only thing is, I feel no matter what happens, Nakamura is gonna lose. So I mean, I don't really want to see Nakamura lose, especially with the we reported a couple weeks ago, or a fan is like, oh, he's totally happy here, and he's like, don't speak for me.
Yeah.
Don't say I'm happy. So it's like, if you're going to come out and say that, that's not saying that you aren't happy, but it's pretty much saying that you aren't happy.
Exactly.
So, we don't want to make, him look any worse. It's like he'd probably rather be off the pay-per-view than lose it. But I mean, maybe that's not. Maybe he just wants to wrestle. So maybe he would take the opportunity. I don't know.
And then
you could do something if you really want to get the feud. You could actually give Nakamura the title. I mean, the title win. I wish there was a title that he would win, but you could have Nakamura get the win. Maybe Cesaro screws Rollins over, and that's why Rollins then wrestles Cesaro at WrestleMania. I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see.
That would be a really good way to like connect one with the other. That will be a good connection between the two. We'll see. But like I said, maybe this happens either next week or at Fastlane. So, you see the stare down right here. So who's the ugliest of them all? Find out at Fastlane. There you go. Two best friends, Jean Paul and myself, like see, this is how we record Robrick, and without like a StreamYard or Zoom, this is how we record Robrick. Is the Jean Paul, can you please just like join me so we can do an awful episode of SmackDown Live? So that will be my documentary right there. So you see, like at least Sammy's still asking people to join for this documentary. Isn't really making sense now. But poor Liberator, long gone are the days that he was actually IC champion and people actually.
Well, I guess we should mention something here because it's been reported that the documentary crew they are actually filming, but it's for like how WWE does those like spotlights or the 24s. Yeah, they're actually filming something like that. So the footage will be used. It's not just for like Sami Zayn's new gimmick. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see that. I'm sure they actually did capture a lot of funny stuff, especially Sami Zayn. He's great in this new Liberator character, but it's just, and we can get into this with when Kevin Owens segment actually starts, but it's like, how legit was he challenging Roman, doing all this stuff? Now he's back wearing a bullshit tie, interviewing these, it's just like, he went from main event to like bullshit.
Yep, go back to where you belong, buddy.
Exactly.
Like, don't believe that like everything you hear. Don't believe that like we're gonna make you main event. No. You had your shot. Now go back to like obscurity. That's where you belong. And then he got like the KO show with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, and another like I want to say cringy interaction between the two because they should be making the title as the main thing. When you fight for a championship, isn't the goal the main thing? Rather than, oh, I'm better than you. Oh, well, I'm Michael Jordan and you're going to be LeBron James. Things like that. And also, like Kevin Owens was saying that they're going to have the match at Fastlane. So they're going to.
And how funny is it instead of just being like, oh, Sasha Banks, you're the Grand Slam champion. You're all this legit stuff. Oh, Bianca, like you could never win the title in NXT, but now you have this chance to beat Sasha. How about you talk about actual like real stuff that these women have done or haven't done instead of being, oh, the last time champions fought each other at WrestleMania was Shawn Michaels and John Cena. So if you guys can be tag champs to go against each other, that makes you guys legit too. Does it? Does that make them legit just because John Cena? You know what I mean? It's like, that's like saying, well, John Cena and Shawn Michaels, they both have 2 feet and you guys have 2 feet. So that makes you legit as well.
Oh, yeah.
Who cares that they were tag champs? That doesn't mean the match is going to be legit. That doesn't mean you're going to make history.
Oh yeah,
So I
well,
mean, they're grasping at straws here instead of, like you said, just having it be the main focus. I won the Royal Rumble. I want to prove I'm the best. You say you're the best champion. Well, I'm gonna beat you.
and it
Let's
also
have
shows,
it be
the
simple.
lack of resources that WWE has, because if you don't have enough creativity to drag this 4 more weeks, instead of like every single week, you need a segment between the two of them. Why can't they just have a mini feud with somebody in between? Or like, for example, Bianca beat somebody up and then just be like, hey, you see what I'm doing?
You
Maybe
know what?
next time it will be
Yeah,
you.
instead of that feud with Bailey being really awful and only lasting a couple weeks, you really could have made Bailey look serious. You could have dragged that feud out, and maybe they have a match at Fastlane,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
and
or
then
like,
maybe Bianca beats Bailey. It's legit. Next on my list is Sasha. That's when Sasha comes out, beats her up, bank statement, kicks her ass, get a lot of heat for WrestleMania.
yeah.
Instead, they're going against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler and Reginald.
And
So
yeah, and there you go. Like you said, in all that fashion, also we got to see Natty and also Tamina in her new gimmick. I guess Tamina is dressing just like Natty. So yeah, that's what we get. That's what we got, folks.
and
And we
another
have the
quick,
match.
and we had the tag champs and Reginald on commentary. And I mean, I really don't want to talk about this match. It was nothing good. Another quick match. Reggie distracts. Bianca gets pinned, and then which I knew was going to happen.
But
Which
that's
though, I
even
mean,
worse,
the
because
one
shouldn't
thing I'll
keep her
say,
look strong? You know.
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's bullshit. It doesn't make any sense. But the one legit thing, and I guess it's legit, but some people will probably call it bullshit. But Natty and Tamina keep getting wins as a tag team.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
they'll earn a title shot and
So what is
hopefully
going to
win it.
happen? Yes,
Yeah.
maybe they get the match at WrestleMania for the titles, or they get added into Fastlane because next week is the go home show for Fastlane. So they might easily say, "Hey, you know what Montez Ford did the other, the before our match? He beat Rio, he pinned Bobby Roode, so we pinned also Bianca Belair. Let's do it." So you see the tension between the two, and they're making Reginald the focal point of the feud, which is even worse because it's like, oh, I told you to get rid of him.
And how sad is it that like Reginald should have been just like, the little accessory to Carmella. Now he's the main piece, and Carmella's like forgotten.
Yeah, thank you.
Where's Carmella?
Thank you. Like what happens when like your son Malia becomes the main guy, and then you just go back to like being
exactly.
Like at least put it with Truth. At least when he was with Truth, she was with Truth, like it was okay. But no, they don't have to do that. Okay, of course, WWE, thank you for that. But that's what we got. So you see, like even another backstage segment.
Nobody. Just this whole women's division.
There was nobody like it's like, hey, get rid of him. Or like it's your fault, Sasha, because you see here like going at each other. Sasha's like, hey, it's never my fault. The champ is never my fault. So let's go to like Edge and Jey Uso. This is probably the one and only time that I've seen Jey Uso iterate words or come out with words in like a more composed way. Like he was able to actually go sentence by sentence, like, and I actually understood what he said. So that made me feel a lot happier because I see that the guy actually can. I thought that he can't, but it's just about like the character can't. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. So like he went and like Edge is saying, yeah, why are you just being like Roman's like, you do the dirty work for him. Can you be on your own? What your brother will say. What your dad, sting face, big ass. Like if that's enough humiliation for you, don't you think that like you gotta like do something for the family? And instead of like, no, he went actually good. He said, hey, you know what? Knock it off. Like, stop it. No, he's like,
he's like, you don't know, you're not in my family. You don't speak for us. You don't know Roman like I do and all this stuff. But you can see, exactly. You don't have a big ass like Rikishi, but as he's saying all this, Edge, you saw that Jay was thinking. He's getting to him. It's because even if it is family, even if Roman could kick his ass, let's say in kayfabe, whatever. Do you really want to live under somebody's thumb like that? Do you really want to be told what to do? Like he said, just because. And earlier when Jay went to go talk to Roman and Paul Heyman was like, oh, maybe because you tapped out last week. I don't know if it's a good time to talk to Roman. Kind of just saying, oh, because you fucked up. Roman doesn't want to talk to you. So you see, it's like, Jay is there is going to eventually be a turn where Jay says, screw you to Roman, and he leaves. So maybe Edge is kind of slowly trying to light that fuse. But I mean, this was good. And like you said, from Jay, he wasn't like the barking chihuahua. he was actually like, hey man, just
more composed,
screw you,
more
man.
like,
Yeah.
calm. He was able to, again, like, go
Mhm.
word by word, sentence by sentence. So, I give kudos to that. Good job, Jay. So good, you see Edge at least, you see what will happen in the main event. But let's move on to, like, Big E finally returns. And this was also bad, just because, like, he came out, at least there was a little intensity. He was, like, pissed off. He said, you know what? I gotta, like, go to the Bible now. I gotta resort to the Bible, and an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. So, Apollo, I'm going to have to end you. This is not going to be enough, 1, 2, 3, pin, I'm going to have to end you because of what you did to me. You put me down. You wanted to, like, take everything that I work for. So you see a lot of intensity in Big E, which is fine. Finally, no more pancakes, no more of that nonsense. But then he's like, well, come out. Nobody comes out. So it's like all of a sudden, whoever wants a championship opportunity, come out. And, we have the guy that is a king of losing, and that's what it's called, King Corbin. And then he comes out, and then Sammy also, like, filming the 24. And this was awful. I don't know how you felt about this, but, like, for me, it felt really, really bad because, how, like, Big E goes, like, well, who gets the championship opportunity? Well, whoever gets to the ring first. Really? Is that how we show respect to our audience? Just whoever gets in the ring first? I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing was bad. You knew as soon as Apollo didn't come out, and then these two jokers came out, you just knew that it was going to end quick. Big E was going to win, and Apollo was going to come out and make the sneak attack, or just make the attack and beat him down, because that's the main feud. It's just let's job these guys out, make them look like losers to get there, and that's exactly what it did. I wish it was Corbin. But the Sami Zayn they see as the ultimate joke. Edge is the ultimate opportunist. Sami Zayn's the ultimate joke. So
the ultimate joke, yes. Yeah. And, like, actually Corbin also went at him also. So, like, you see how bad, like, Sami Zayn looks, and also Corbin, really, like I said, again, they're two heels. Can you please combine them? Can you please make them be attack? Can you please use their talents to get the goal? No, So we get the championship match, and, like, Michael Cole, Corey Graves, oh yeah, this is a great opportunity for, like, to end the documentary because Sami can regain the goal and it will be like the perfect ending. No, it wasn't, because it was a big ending, but that was all it was. 1, 2, 3, and then began the Big E retain. Did you think otherwise? No, there's no way, because the main feud is who? With this guy that came out and he channeled his inner Kurt Angle because he started doing the Olympic slam. The angle slam. That's all I know how to do now. So he did 2 of them, and then he attacked him with, like, the steel steps one more time. So at least he's getting good hit, heel. Heel hit. There you go. Inverse. There you go. So, like, I like that, and you see Apollo at least is getting the upper hand week in, week out, and I like that because then, Fastlane is going to have a match for the IC belt, and hopefully he wins.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Hopefully he wins. The new gimmick, the Nigerian Prince, attacking, Big E, dominant fashion. Not 2 weeks in a row, but like he did a couple weeks. Big E comes back, boom, he does it again, his first night back. I think you got to do it to solidify Apollo. The only thing is you don't really have any baby faces that go after him. Cesaro, he's in a feud with Rollins, though. I think maybe Nakamura, but they'll probably just give that win to Apollo. He'll just beat Nakamura if they would do that. So I really don't know, but I could easily see them dragging this out, just like the feud with Seth Rollins and Cesaro, dragging this out to WrestleMania. Maybe they have a match at Fastlane where, Apollo wins, and then they do a rematch at WrestleMania and Big E wins it back. Who knows?
That's fine, but I mean, at least if you're going to make Apollo look as great as he's been looking for this past 2 weeks, I'm okay with it. There's no, there's nothing wrong with that.
I'd rather have Big E somehow win the first one, or the first one ends in a DQ or a count out or something, and then they do maybe like I don't want to say last man standing, but the way that we've seen this feud be kind of brutal, I can see them adding maybe some kind of stipulation to it.
Anywhere. There you go.
Have that be for WrestleMania, but have Apollo Crews go over.
Yeah, but especially because, remember, he talked to Roman, so, like, play with that a little bit. Don't just throw that bone. And then
and speaking of which, there was reports that a female was supposed to join Roman's group. Who's that? Yeah. Who is this? There's so many, like, people are it's going to be in Roman's group, and then Roman's going to get a new theme, and this for Roman and that for Roman, and we don't see it every week. It's just Heyman, Jay, the big dog, and nothing different.
Yeah, so. And you want that, we're gonna give you that in a little bit. But, like, next week there was another segment, like Reginald is saying, why don't you just challenge Sasha Banks for the title? And maybe you can be a double champion when you go into WrestleMania. So now Jackie's like, I like how you think, honey. So let's go back to
I like that. I just want to just say, like, she's like, yeah, let me challenge her, and apparently Sasha accepted the match, and it's happening. instead of
Yeah,
Sasha just being saying, "Why would I accept this match?" No,
yeah, there you go. Like
and
that's
then
not
done.
just
You know, it
happened.
should just be like so.
So well, like, we're gonna get that match, family. So like, let's go to the main event. Finally, the contract signing between Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. This was okay, just okay, because at least Daniel Bryan got into Roman Reigns' skin really quick. Remember, like he didn't want to sign it. He's like, "Why do you want to do this?" You know, and that like some like calm voice that he has now. And like Bryan went at him like really, really bad, and it was really it was good because he went like with all reverse psychology. Oh, like you always been better than me. You always thought that you're better than me. Why would you defend that title? Why would you do this? But like I know that I'm better than you. All like going at Roman, and he got so annoying that Roman's like, just give me the paper. Just give me the damn paper. So I'm gonna sign it. You know, boom. He does it, and then keeps going. Bryan doesn't shut up. He becomes the most obnoxious like bitch ever. And then we get to see from bitch to like whoosh. Hey, you know, bro. Yeah, you bro. You know, he challenged. I don't know. You know, he became all hood. You know, right there. And I did. For me, that kills me. When Jay goes like that, he's like, please, you know, let me change the channel. It's fine. You know, Jean Paul Star review, because I just don't like that. And this, he's calling for an enforcer. So he, you know, calls himself the special enforcement into this. I was like, if they do that, absolutely trash. But then, unfortunately, there you go. Rated R Superstar came out. He said, you know what? I like that idea, but next week it will be me in 11 years fighting on SmackDown. It's going to be against you, Jay. And they made the match official, so it's going to be Jay against Edge. And then whoever wins is going to become the special enforcer on Fastlane. So that's good, don't you think?
Yeah, that I like. And was it just a special enforcer, or was it like I think were they like
Referee.
the special referee? Yeah,
Referee.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's good. I like, you know, I love this whole segment. You know, getting under Roman's skin, pissing him off. Daniel Bryan has been so great in this feud. I hope if he doesn't win it, he at least gets another title shot, maybe against Edge later on. You know, SummerSlam, some kind of maybe, you know, payback, whatever pay-per-view follows WrestleMania. You know, whatever. But this is really good, and I like this whole match set up for, you know, Edge and Jay, because you got to think this feud, you know, it does involve Edge as well. Jay's always there, and what has Roman always done to get out of most of his feuds? He's had to cheat, he had to use Jay, you know, just use heel tactics. So this is the same thing, but Edge goes, we're actually going to have a neutral party be in this match, because he doesn't care if Roman wins. He doesn't care if Daniel Bryan wins. He has his match. He has his position locked and set for WrestleMania. But, you know, let's have it be legit here, Jay. Let's not have no bullshit going on.
Oh yeah, no, and that was good. And like you said, and after that, at least Edge helped out Daniel Bryan because they went at each other with Jay and Roman. That was good. But in the end, one of the parts of in this interaction, then Edge pushed Daniel Bryan away because he wanted to go against Roman, but then Bryan retaliates with the running knee to the Rated R Superstar. So everybody's like, so at least there you go. For me, no more respect. Let's be legit. Let's check who the best man is out of the two. So Daniel Bryan completely like knock him out, and then he goes and celebrates with everybody. And the yes chants are all over the Thunderdome, all over the world. So there you go. Daniel Bryan running the Edge. So you see, like, is that calls for a little bit of dissension, and maybe Edge could screw Roman and Bryan. I'm sorry, on Fastlane. Maybe we'll see, but at least there you go. No more respect between the two.
Yeah,
No
that's a good point. I could easily see that. Maybe he accidentally, you know, spears Daniel Bryan. But see, I wouldn't like that either, because then, you know, it's like, oh, he's gonna pick Roman, and then you almost think, well, Edge is not like us. You don't want to be like, oh, he's a heel, but then, you know, there are going to be a good amount of people are going to go, well, Edge, that was kind of a dick move, you know. I mean, like now we kind of want to see Bryan get revenge on you. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to paint Edge in that light. Maybe paint Daniel Bryan as he's going to lose, and he maybe goes back to being a heel where Bryan gets pissed. So, you know, who knows what we're going to see, but that's the one thing that I like about this is once it gets your brain, you know, moving, oh, I wonder what we're going to see. Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? When a pay-per-view isn't so predictable, or a match rather isn't so predictable in the pay-per-view, it actually makes you want to see it.
And that's the main thing, you know, that is like you just mentioned, that is the secret formula of good storytelling. Don't make it predictable. Bring me a swing, you know, change it up a little bit. Oh, maybe like Edge is going to spear Bryan, or maybe Bryan is going to go at Edge and gets distracted by that, and then Roman cashes in, and then he spears him and he retains the title. So they could be a lot of avenues that they could use between this dissension, because there's no more respect, there's no more friendship. Is at least in this particular feud, they should do the same thing what they're doing with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. What is the main thing that you want to accomplish from these things? Oh, I want to get the goal. And you know when I love Shawn Michaels, history has been made. There you go. That's what you got to do, family. So that was like the show for SmackDown for every single one of you. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. Tomorrow, live, this is going to be, I'm really excited about this. Impact, a lot of people like have been following us on this. We really appreciate you because like this is going to be a great main event. Sacrifice, another like Impact Plus special that we're going to have. It's not really a pay-per-view, but like, we consider it as such. It's going to be the Impact World title match. And this is going to be Rick Swann against Moose. Title versus title, Paul. Scott D'Amore said, I'm finally making the TNA championship legit. Is valid. So we're going at each other and, title versus title. And this match even has more implications because whoever wins is going to go challenge Kenny Omega at Rebellion. So this is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, the thing about this is I want to say Moose wins because I feel like Moose should win. He should beat Rich Swann. He should be double champ. But then they have the match at Rebellion against Omega. And it's like, well, I don't know if I want to see Moose, put over Omega, at least not right now.
Not right now, yeah.
So it's like, maybe Swann gets the win. Maybe somebody interferes. But see, that's, again, what did we just say about Roman and Bryan and Edge? When it's not predictable and there's intrigue and you can really think, how's this going to go? How's this going to play out? That's what makes it good. That's why Rope Break is excited tomorrow for Sacrifice, and that's why you got to join us, live right when the show's over.
Yep, we'll be right there talking about every single thing. A lot of implications, family. Thank you so very much. The only thing we ask from every single one of you, please subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, give the video a like. It pushes the video to the moon, like Cameron Graham says. And, where else can they find us in the social media world?
Make sure you follow us on Facebook on Rope Break, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
Family, thank you so very much. Tomorrow's Sacrifice, and a big hi, thank you to Wrestling with Joners. You can find us there also. Our big friends from the UK, so visit us there. You and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is